1-800-LAW-1010, 1-800-LAW-1010.com.
Paul Harding from Martin Harding Mazzotti on the line. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
So this is what we get about Donald Sterling, who owns the Clippers. Mark Cuban, who owns the Mavericks, said yesterday that the league would be better off without Sterling, but forcing him to sell his team is a slippery slope. Can you force somebody to not be in business for free speech?
Well, it's interesting. No one knows what's in the NBA bylaws, but as a general proposition, the forced sale usually only exists for someone who's not paying their bills, meaning that the league is not going to be able to support itself because one of the cogs in the wheel isn't holding up their end of the bargain. In terms of what Mr. Sterling said privately to a girlfriend, just number one, if it were there, wouldn't be enough for a forced sale. I understand Mark Cuban is probably got a little public relations problem himself.
Yep.
But ultimately, what I see here is the potential suspension. You know, there's no precedent in the NBA. It has happened in baseball. Mark Schott many years ago. But that's where I see it going down that road once the NBA does their thing.
So I know it's not his team isn't losing money, but those comments cost the league money. That can't be in the bylaws? Or again,
we don't know what's in there, and what's happening is just sort of all the advertisers are heading towards the exit door. We looked at it today, and there was clearly, just millions of dollars of folks who said we're not going to participate in the Clippers at least for the end of the season. And what people forget is they're in an NBA playoff series. So sure, the money's leaving. Reputation's gone.
That's the law, and I know that the law is your world, Paul, but I mean the law is only, superseded by money. I mean, I imagine that'll work itself out because people aren't getting the kind of paycheck, or the advertisers aren't showing up to it, to the game, to the table. Forget about what's in the NBA Bible or whatever it is as far as the owners, right? When money starts getting taken away from people, that's when we right the ship immediately in this country.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. And we're going to wait and see the NBA. They got a press conference at 2 o'clock today.
Paul, and she's no peach at all, the girlfriend. That's not. She's not an activist.
What a prize!
But the recordings she allegedly recorded, those can't be used in court, can they?
Well, it's interesting. In California, they have a rule which most states have. New York doesn't. 2 parties have to agree for a recording to occur in order for it to be legal. In New York, we have what we call the one-party rule. I mean, I could call up you privately and have a conversation, taping it as long as I know it's being taped. You don't. That's something I could use.
But, Kareem said it, Paul. It's like all of a sudden, because this is salacious, America's on board. Where were they when Elgin Baylor, a respected NBA Hall of Famer, had this?
I didn't hear about that.
Had this racist beef, and nobody cared.
I didn't hear about that.
This is a poor reflection of Sterling, but this doesn't make us as a society look any better.
No.
To me, I'm just
hopefully
ranting.
moving in the right direction here because, again, these comments, I don't hear anyone of any credibility or anyone at all, in the corner of Sterling. But a lot of places we need to go.
All right, it's attorney Paul Harding on the line from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010 and 1-800-LAW-1010.com. Real quickly here, Paul, because this story doesn't seem to go away with our listeners. The woman who left her kid in the car for, she said 30 seconds, the witness said 5 minutes, surveillance showed 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't do it, but my wife does.
You would citizen arrest that woman.
I get angry about
Excuse
it.
me, ma'am. I'm Steve Cantara from the Citizen Arrest Police.
Did we overreact to this woman? Did we do the right thing?
I bring myself back on a personal level to the time when the kids were 5 months old, and you do anything to keep them sleeping, right? Because you wake them up and you got yourself a whole new scenario. She leaves a cell phone in the library. Historically, the prosecution of this stuff is reserved when someone's heading to a bar or someone's going to buy drugs, and then the kid's in the car, or prolonged periods of time.
Right.
She leaves her cell phone in the library and comes back, and it's endangering the welfare of the child. It's right on point. You can't do it. It's a violation, although it's actually a misdemeanor. But in the general proposition, these would tend not to be prosecuted. It looks like it's going to be prosecuted. Where I see it going is going to be reduced down to disorderly conduct or maybe an ACOD, which is virtually a dismissal. So, no, technically, bad things can happen during the 30 seconds or 5 minutes or 3 minutes. and that's where she, put her children at risk. I mean, is anyone coming out and saying we got a bad person here? I really don't think they are.
How many parents would have misdemeanors on their record, though? I mean, if everybody got caught like this, a lot, right?
You especially the gas station. You got to you leave them in the car. You go and you pay.
Can't do what? You can't go.
Yeah.
What?
No. When you're pumping gas, you can.
Can you?
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about when you got to go in and pay, and you're leaving your car running.
Right.
Wait a minute.
You
can't do that. You can't go in and pay.
No, you can't leave the car. You can get out and pump gas if you're using a card, but you can't go inside and buy a pack of smokes, Quinn.
What if I want to go inside and buy a milk for my other child?
Then you got
to
wake up your 5-year-old, go in, make the purchase, and then you pay the price for the next hour while they're crying.
I think every parent sympathizes, but we all know it's the wrong
That
thing.
sucks for you guys.
It's really, really tough.
That's tough.
All right, Paul Harding from Martin Harding and Mazzotti, 1-800-LAW-1010 and 1-800-LAW1010.com. Thanks for the time, Paul.
Okay, guys, take care.